Good morning. How are you? I hope you're doing great. I just wanted to talk to you guys for a little bit, and I'm going to use this as a bit of my personal blog, I guess, journal. I don't really like to write down because I only write down really, really, really important things I need to remember. And the everyday process isn't necessarily something I want to like revisit completely. But I do want to make videos to keep me on track. So bear with me. This is Betsanim Catherine. You see my profile as Kathy Trump. Ignore that. Hi, good morning, babe. Yesterday, my surgeon tells me, you'd be lucky to get any function back. That's how bad my bone is supposedly broken. It's crushed or whatever. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, challenge accepted. Because that's the only thing I really know how to do. Like, someone tells me I can't do something, I have to go in to watch me. And so I'm sitting there and he's telling me that he won't recommend reconstructive surgery because that's a lot of pain and a lot of hubbly, and it still doesn't work, apparently. The chances are small, he says. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really want any more surgeries for now, thank you. He says, we'll check back in like 3 to 6 months. And I'm going like, and he goes, I know that that's a long time, you know. We told you it was going to be a long time. And I'm like, actually, you guys didn't. In fact, I thought this was me. Okay, in a couple of weeks, we'll take out the iron. I'm like, yes, I'll be done. Then I go in. No, we're taking it out like a month from now. So it's been like that. Like, it takes longer and longer. But that's okay. Healing can take as much time as it needs. But he's talking to me about this, and I'm sitting there going like, I really, 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 really should dedicate to my fasting. Why? Because your body is doing all kinds of functions, and if you're supposed to be healing, you need to help your body support that healing, you know. I know some of you know me from my previous profiles, and my business name is Rock Your Power, or my movement, or my blog, or whatever. I don't know what to call it anymore. It's just, my tagline is Rock Your Power. And it came to me at business training and at self-development training. That is my domain name. That's my website. That's my stuff. And it's changed, you know, over the years and flown in different directions. But one thing that I'm passionate about is health. In fact, Kira, Raylan, and Rory, I'm on a video. You see me and go. And part of the thing that I started with about it was you have your own strength, you have your own power. And the journey has just taken me to it being from a health perspective, because ultimately, what's more important than your health? Nothing. I mean, you can have money, you can have a website, like I build websites for people, you could have a book out there, I've done all those things. But if my health is gone, doesn't matter what I did, it just doesn't. So, I started researching and reading, and I don't follow people, I follow breadcrumbs, and that sounds weird, but what I do is I just let things come to me, and I listen to them, and I read them, and I let them resonate. And I really, really deeply resonated with the concept of life without food. Now, am I going to be someone who doesn't eat anything? I don't know. But what I did learn while reading, and I'm not done, it's like gonna be a very long process because, you know, time and life and hand and all the other things that I have to focus on. But one thing that I did get away from right now was that your body has its own energy source. It does. All your cells organized in this form that is you, with your brain and everything, all of it has its own energy source. And something my husband said yesterday was, yeah, your brain runs on 2 volts. Because we were watching a TV show and they were using human tissue to save a lot of much more data than, normal electrical circuits. And he goes, yeah, that makes sense. And that's totally, so yeah, it's your fault. But sci-fi stuff that tells you, hey, the human body or human tissue can do so much more. It has so much more power. And yet most of us, we believe that we need all these other things to make us powerful, and we don't even think that our bodies can handle, for example, not eating food for 48 hours or more. And that's simply not true. It isn't, because your body does not use your food, and you need to research that. There's a book called Life Without Food by Joachim M. Werden, and you've got Man's Higher Consciousness by Hilton Hotema. You can read them. They're old books. One of them is really old. But what I really liked about the book, the PDF, it's a PDF. You can get it online. It's free. The PDF of Life Without Food is that it just simply was a guy who tested it, and he tells his story of how he did it and what he did and how he felt. And he broke it down very simply. Everybody makes it very complicated, because that's one of the things that I saw, is that there's all these gurus and yogis that teach the same thing, living off of prana, living off of breathing, breatharianism. They have all these names for it, and they complicate everything. As soon as things get complicated, guess what happens? You don't function. You can't function in complication. This is a basic, the kids are walking around, but the basic principle is that keep it simple, because if you don't keep it simple, you won't do anything. It's really called, what was it called again? Analysis paralysis. This is something that you get like when you're writing or doing sales or whatever, or there's a teaching. If you give people too much information and they go into analysis, go into analysis paralysis. It's the same thing with your body. It's the same thing with your health. If you take too many steps, you complicate things, you get stuck. So what's happening to a lot of us is that our health has been complicated so much, guys. Listen, it's been complicated beyond, because they tell you the ancient Chinese did this and that, and you look at it and it's super simple. But then the medical industry or whoever is treating you gives you all these reasons why it won't work for you, because, you have to take into consideration this, and you have to take into consideration that. They complicate everything, and they get your machine stuck. Your power gets stuck. You need to let that go. So that's what I'm doing with this. I'm clearing, simplifying, and letting my body purge, because, of course, we've all done that. We've all been snacky. We've all eaten, contaminants, salts, sugars, lots of refined foods and chemical stuff. And who knows what else is stuck in the gut after all this time. And fasting gives your digestive system or your organs inside of your body time to rest. You need that too. You need that too to boost up your power. So rock your power. Get started with something, one habit that takes your power back, that simplifies your life a little bit more. You don't have to get a juicer and do a juice fast. Water is enough. Distilled water is enough. Do you have to drink a lot of it? No. Do you have to track? No. The one thing you have to do is change your mind patterns. That is one of the hardest things. The analysis paralysis that's up here. Because like me, I'm right now 37 hours and I am not hungry. I'm not thirsty. I take very little water here and there, a little bit of tea, just steeped leaves and whatever. I'm not hungry. I'm not thirsty. I'm not weak. I'm energetic. I'm feeling really great. But my mind, oh my God, it's going like, yeah, aren't you spending all this time by yourself not eating, and your kids are going to miss out on it? Why don't you eat the tiramisu that your husband bought? And there's vodka from the party. You should still have that last shot of vodka ever. I'm like, my brain itself is attacking me because it does not like the change. And that's usually the point, because we are run by our operating system, most of us, and it's the ego, and you forget to activate your own force. That force does not say all these rules that has been taught. That programming, it's called programming for a reason. It's all in there because the world wants to make sure that you don't use your power, that your power is down, because you're exceedingly powerful. If you just go to ancient Chinese teachings, you go like, whoa, people have chi. What is chi? Well, if you watch any anime and you're my age, you know that it's Kamehameha, Dragon Ball, Goku power. We have that. We do. And I've been very blind to that because I didn't really connect the two. I just did know some of Chinese medicine because my grandfather, he did all that stuff, and I read books when I was small, and I've been treated with homeopathy and acupuncture and, acupressure, when you have a headache. And, I'm going to be doing Qigong every day. That's my commitment to myself. I commit to Qigong with my hand so I can help my body remember its power, because the doctor can say whatever he wants and no many people don't recover and blah blah blah, and if we do a reconstructive surgery, and I was like, okay, scratch, cancer clear, not that, I don't want that, that's not my high stress. I'm like, okay, you said I can take it off and that I need to move it. Challenge accepted. That's all he needs to know. He went, oh yeah, take pain meds. I have done without pain meds so far. I ain't gonna start now because it doesn't help either. They don't dull your pain. They dull your brain. You're like, No thanks. So I would encourage you, if you're Christian, follow Jesus. You know that he was in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights to prepare him for his journey. Most people underestimate the power of that particular example that he gave and the real need to actually try it literally. Yeah, go and try it literally. Maybe you don't make it 40 days the first time. Maybe the second time, maybe the 10th time, maybe the 100th time. I don't know. I don't know what you need to train towards to get your power back. What I do know is that there is more merit in doing the things that he did literally, and I mean the fasting and the putting of hands on people, which is the same thing that the acupuncturists do. Put hands on people with oil, acupressure, acupuncture, massaging. And just learn to take your power back, take your body back to its natural state, free of, the influence of foods and the toll that your digestive system has on it. This is why naturopathic doctors, I've watched a lot of videos about this and a lot of different lectures, and they always say the same thing. When you talk about curing cancer, for example, when they start a protocol with a cancer patient, the cancer patients that have the highest success rate, the ones that do better, the ones that regain their balance, are often, if not always, the ones that take protocols that include fasting, that include not eating meat, that include, all these other approaches, these protocols that reset the body, especially the gut. And I've been talking about the gut being your second brain since, let me see, when did I buy that book? 2013. Because that's when I started. We started doing, in my house, we started doing kefir. We ate, back in the day, we ate paleo. My kids' first foods were only fruits, avocado, chia seeds, coconut milk. I've done a lot of different experiments of our own, and it's been, a little winding road because, of course, there's so much going on, and it takes time to learn, and it takes time to master yourself, especially yourself, because you have a mind element that is extremely powerful. and you have an emotional element in your gut that is extremely loud. Your emotions are loud. It doesn't mean that they don't matter and they're not important and you need to stuff them. No, listen to them, feel them. However, do know that what is in your gut can exacerbate, can make your emotions worse. I know that firsthand in myself. Like when I was full-blown grain eating all the time, bread, pizza, and right now I'm back a little bit on that because of my move and all that stuff. I just dropped the ball completely and I've been building that back up. But I started to have feelings of dread constantly. Feelings of dread. Every time I'm in bed, I have this, in the movies, scary movies, when they have someone, that sound, the scary moment, or the, the high-pitched violin. Yeah, I can't do sound effects, but you know what I mean. And those particular sounds, they give a certain reaction in your gut, like visceral is another word for gut. Visceral sensation that your life is in danger. Well, that feeling I was getting from all the combinations of food, and it's just right after I had lost my gallbladder. I had removed it because it was sick, and I didn't understand why all my diet had led to that until much later. But my gallbladder was already gone, right? And there I was having racing thoughts and awful dread every night. And it was through that journey of starting to take out bread and eating paleo and sweet potatoes instead of, white potatoes, and not a lot of food and no gluten. Instead of gluten pancakes, we made, coconut pancakes. And I mean, my kids were born and they've had all kinds of just random cooked, we used to make banana pancakes without any, how do you call that? No egg, no flour, pancakes. So I've done those things. Yeah. It works. Yeah. It's hard to maintain. That's the thing. Because it creates another analysis paralysis. I remember I used to get boxes of my gluten-free stuff and my gluten-free supplies from the US shipped to Aruba because guess what? I couldn't find them there at a reasonable price. So, and the big tub of coconut oil and all that. I mean, this is 2009 we're talking about, 11 years ago. And I had a radical change. It wasn't instant. The biggest radical change was the dread, the anxiety, and the suicidal thoughts. I got my process to get rid of them, to work through them, and to put them in the right place. Nowadays, if for one reason or the other, because of what I'm eating and because of what is happening and because of what I'm letting into my mind, because we let things into our minds, this is a constant practice that you need to continue to practice the rest of your life to love yourself. But there I am. I've started to feel it and I go, whoa, stop. You know what I do? First one is cedar wood. Cedar wood restores your limbic system's function, so your hormone production gets kick-started. You need those hormones to be balanced all over, emotionally, physically, your energy, your chi, everything. You need that, okay? So I take cedar wood, I put a little bit on my finger. I do like that. I don't have it with me right now, so I can't show you, but you get the drill. That's one. And then I put some on my navel, because a lot of times what's happening with me has to do with my hormones, ovaries and so on. So I put it there. Cedar wood is amazing for liver function, so I will also put it on top of my liver, on my body. I can't even move my arm that way, but right now, it's like it still needs to train. Okay, so that's one. Second, immediately, I cut out bread and sugar. Bread and sugar combined ferment in your gut. That fermentation has an effect that it takes out of balance the good and the bad bacteria, if you want to call it that. It just disbalances your gut to a place where it's not healthy anymore. Let's look at it from a different perspective. If you were doing a compost pile in your house and you threw in stuff that wasn't good and it got disbalanced, the compost would be no good. It would be either too acidic or weak and not do anything. Now, in a farm, you just fix it by adding something or taking something away. And in this case, it's in your gut. It has to get out. If you keep eating the same stuff, you're going to keep getting the same results. So work on that. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. And an encouragement, if you can keep an eye out for yourself this year and do more. And instead of just listening, instead of just reading about it, instead of hoping that your medication is going to get it out of the way so you don't have to do any of the expensive natural things and put out some money for you to actually buy essential oils or buy supplements if they apply to what you need, or to buy, a distiller so you drink distilled water, or buy distilled water for that matter, or get your, CBD oil, because some people actually, because of what they're experiencing, would benefit from it for them to boost their body. If the time it takes, it costs you to go do meditation or to do some qigong outside of the house, all of those things are investments. But yet, make an assessment. Be really honest and crude. How much are you worth? Because that's the thing that it comes down to. How much are you worth? Are you worth taking that extra hour and a half for you every day to take care of your temple so that it can do more? Or are you not worth it and you're just going to eat the McDonald's thing and the frappe and the chocolate, drizzled mochaccino on the way so you can feel good and dress up and have parties and get drunk and have fun, but then you're dead before the end of 2020? Those are the choices, and I'm not saying that you're almost dead, but you do realize that you're setting up your body in an environment that disease comes in like a thief in the night, and it spreads really fast because the parameters are perfect. It's like territory ready to be taken. Doesn't mean you can't claim it back. You can rock your power. You can take your power back. Well, that was for me. That was it for me today. I'll talk to you tomorrow and keep you updated on my extra long 48 hours fast, because my goal is 48 hours and it ends tonight, but I actually would like to challenge myself to keep going as far as I can. And I have my friends who actually do this full time, and I know that it can be done, and how it can be done I've been learning. So I will talk to you about that, because fasting, a lot of people think if you fast full time or your life without food, you eat nothing ever. And that scares everybody. There's a lot of details there, but I'm not going to get into that right now because I'm not familiar with them yet. I'll talk to you about them when I've walked through them. What I do know is that right now, I'm water or tea, light tea, just steep leaves, and I don't drink a lot of it either. And the rest of it, I'm letting my own chi, my own power my body. That's what we're going for in 2020. Have a great day. Bye.